Many English holidays used to begin this way, taking the ferry to France, relaxing on the sun deck, enjoying a meal. Or maybe not. The Channel can be very stormy and rough. But now there is a choice. You can go by ferry, or you can take Le Shuttle and arrive in France in a little more than half an hour. Which would you choose? This programme is about crossing to France by the Channel Tunnel. Talk about advantages and disadvantages. Say what you enjoy and how you feel, and make a reservation at the travel agents. Our friend Meterman has something to say about the history of Britain.
I enjoy being an authority on history.
Everyday English. As you travel to the coast on a wintry morning, the road signs display the different ways to cross the Channel. So let's see how some travellers have decided to make the journey.
We always prefer to go on the ferry. For me, it's the real start of the holiday. You can relax, have a meal, walk around.
You can go on the deck and enjoy the view, and you've got the fresh air.
You can do some shopping at the duty-free shop.
It's an exciting way to start the holiday. You really feel as if you're going abroad.
Leave the table there, yeah, we'll have this one.
The tunnel's much quicker, of course.
Don't like tunnels much, but when the sea is rough, I don't like that either.
I certainly don't enjoy being seasick. OK, it's a fine day today, but you certainly can't trust the English weather, can you?
If you get off to a good start, you could be in the south of France by the evening.
It isn't frightening, it's exciting. You don't feel as if you're in a tunnel or under the sea.
I wouldn't like to go through the tunnel because I suffer from claustrophobia. I hate being in small spaces.
You don't have time to relax, you can't get a meal, so it's not really a break.
Well, you don't feel as if you're going to a different country.
Me? Actually, I'd really like to try the shuttle, but they don't listen to me.
A helping hand. Now, here's a helping hand. First, talking about the good points, the advantages. Say what you can do. On the ferry,
you can relax, have a meal, walk around.
You can relax and have a meal.
You can go on deck, and you've got the view, and you've got the fresh air.
You can go on deck and enjoy the view.
You can do some shopping at the duty-free shop.
You can do some shopping at the duty-free shop. And on the shuttle,
It's quick, it's comfortable.
it's quick and it's comfortable.
If you get off to a good start, you could be in the south of France by the evening.
You can be in the south of France by the evening. And the disadvantages. First, the ferry. For a start,
You certainly can't trust the English weather, can you?
you can't trust the English weather, can you? But then, on the shuttle,
You don't have time to relax, you can't get a meal, so it's not really a break.
you can't get a meal, so it's not really a break. Next, say what you enjoy doing and what you hate doing. That's the verb followed by the ing form. They enjoy going on the ferry.
I certainly don't enjoy being seasick.
I certainly don't enjoy being seasick.
I hate being in small spaces.
I hate being in small spaces. And finally, Say how you feel.
Do you really feel as if you're going abroad?
You really feel as if you're going abroad.
You don't really feel as if you're in a tunnel or under the sea.
You don't really feel as if you're in a tunnel.
Well, you don't feel as if you're going to a different country.
You don't feel as if you're going to a different country. Specialized English. Now, the English you need for making a reservation and asking for information.
I think that's the one we want.
Yeah, that looks right. Let's go and ask.
Hello, can I help you?
Yes, we'd like to make a reservation for the Channel Tunnel. Can you give us some information first?
Please, have a seat. Is it Eurostar or a shuttle that you're interested in?
Can you explain which is which?
Yes, of course. Eurostar goes direct from London Waterloo and also Ashford in Kent to Paris and Brussels. If you want to take your car across, then you take Le Shuttle.
Yes, that's what we want. Can we make a reservation?
You don't need to make a reservation. You just turn up and go. That's their slogan. But you can make an advance booking if you'd like.
Can you tell us about prices?
The price depends on when you travel, of course, the time of day and the time of year, you see?
I see. It's cheaper between midnight and 6 a.m. and more expensive in the daytime.
There's a special rate for short breaks, up to 5 days.
No, that won't do. We're going for 2 weeks.
In that case, you have to pay the standard fare. How do you want to pay?
By card. Do you take this?
That'll do nicely. Passport control and customs are on this side before you go on the train, and you have to go through a security check too, of course. Here you are. Have a nice holiday.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
We need the receipt here, don't we? We take exit 11 from the motorway, don't we?
No, actually, it's exit 11A. We've just passed exit 11, so it must be the next one. Here it is.
Now we need the ticket here. You've got it, haven't you?
Don't worry, here it is. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Can I just confirm you both have your passports with you?
We have?
Are you carrying any canisters of gas, any firearms or any animals?
No.
Great. I'll just print your tickets for you now. In here we have your passes for duty free and your tickets. The next departure will be loading in approximately 20 minutes. So when I raise the barrier, you can either go left for duty free and services or straight ahead and wait for the next train to load. Okay then, have a good trip. Bye-bye.
We've got about 20 minutes, so let's change some money and have a look around.
Okay, fine.
Now have your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Passengers wishing to travel on the next service, the 1621, should proceed to passport controls in preparation for loading. Please have your passports ready for inspection.
Come on.
Votre attention, s'il vous plaît, mesdames et messieurs.
If you want to know what it's like, you must try it for yourself. Bye.
A helping hand.
I think
Let's listen again. First, asking for information.
Can I help you?
Yes, we'd like to make a reservation for the Channel Tunnel. Can you give us some information first?
Can you give us some information first?
Is it Eurostar or the shuttle that you're interested in?
Is it the Eurostar or the shuttle that you are interested in?
Can you explain which is which?
Can you explain which is which?
Eurostar.
Now listen to want to and need to.
There are no stops. If you want to take your car across, then you take Le Shuttle.
If you want to take your car across to France, you take Le Shuttle.
You don't need to make a reservation. You just turn up and go.
You don't need to make a reservation.
There's a special rate for
And
short breaks.
have to express obligation or necessity.
In that case, you have to pay the standard fare.
In that case, you have to pay the standard fare.
Passport control and customs are on this side before you go on the train, and you have to go through a security check too, of course. Here you are.
You have to go through a security check, of course. Improve your fluency.
Can you tell us about prices?
And some useful phrases to improve your fluency. Listen to the information about prices and notice the phrase, it depends.
I see.
The price depends on when you travel, of course.
The price depends on when you travel.
The price depends on...
And listen to these comparisons. Remember that you use more with words of more than 2 syllables.
It's cheaper between midnight and 6 a.m.
It's cheaper between midnight and 6 a.m.
and more expensive in the daytime.
It's more expensive in the daytime. And here's a useful phrase with do.
No, that won't do. We're going for 2 weeks.
No, that won't do.
Do you take this?
That'll do nicely.
That will do nicely. Some more fluency practice using tag questions.
We take exit 11 from the motorway, don't we?
We take exit 11 from the motorway, don't we?
We need the ticket here. You've got it, haven't you?
You've got it, haven't you?
Don't worry, here it is. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it?
It's exciting, isn't it? A personal view. The head of Eurotunnel's Public Affairs Department has worked on the Channel Tunnel project longer than anyone else. At times, John Knowlton still finds it difficult to believe that the tunnel is a reality. What kind of engineering problems did they have during the construction? How did he feel when the project was completed? Does the Channel Tunnel really change the way the British feel about themselves? Listen to John Knowlton.
I was here 10 years ago when this was a green field. And even today, nearly 2 years after it opened, I still have to pinch myself to believe that it's true. And every time I go through the tunnel, I still have a sense of wonder about it. It's been so much part of my life. It is now there. It's now operating successfully, and it's now hugely popular. In many ways, the construction of the tunnel was the easiest part. That's not to say that there weren't very severe engineering difficulties in the way, but they were solved by very competent British and French and other nationalities' engineers. So there were difficulties. First of all, how do you meet in the middle, for example, which required a very, very complicated feat of navigation. When you're underground, you can't see the stars. much more difficult than the journey of Christopher Columbus, because he could see the sun and the stars. We couldn't. It was a very tough job underground. We, for example, ran into some unexpectedly difficult ground conditions just off the British coast. So we had to pretty well stop, redesign the machines, and carry out extensive treatment of the ground in order to get through that patch. It was about 2 kilometers long. But they did that, and in the end, one of the British machines set what we think is a world record of 426 meters of fully lined, large diameter tunnel in a week. There are 2 crossover caverns in the tunnel. People just think of them as tunnels, but there are these 2 huge caverns about equidistant from each coast. To give you some idea of the size, they are as big as the nave of a large cathedral, the Cathedral of Rouen, Canterbury, Cologne, for example. You could stand 3 London double-deck buses on top of one another in the cavern. Each of these caverns enables trains to switch from one tunnel to the other. Britain and France aren't the world's most natural allies. I think we've been to war together more times than any other countries. And our cultures are totally different, even though we're neighbours. To give you one rather silly example, the British miners, before they met, worked under coal mining regulations, safety regulations. They had to wear on their belts a respirator, a breathing equipment. They were not allowed to smoke or to drink, and indeed, if they were found in possession of tobacco or alcohol, that was a dismissible offence. On the French side, they did not have to wear respirators, though they were available in case of need. Each miner was allowed 25 centilitres of wine with his lunch, and smoking appeared to be compulsory.
They're through, they're through. They're through, hey! There's the handshake we've all been waiting for, Mr. Fag and Mr. Cosette.
The day of the first undersea breakthrough, that was the 1st of December 1990, 2 years after the machines had set off to meet one another, was one of the longest days I can remember. It was a very emotional day, very exciting day, a day which I think everybody was touched by. Within Eurotunnel, everybody has to know enough of the other language to be able to do his job without translation. But there are many people, like the train crews, who go backwards and forwards between the 2 countries. They have to have a good mastery of the other language, and especially terms in relation to safety. The psychological impact of the tunnel for people in Britain was much greater than for the French. The French have land borders with many, many other countries, and to them, they couldn't understand what all the fuss was about. But there was quite a lot of excitement and regret in this country that what one commentator called our splendid isolation was over. A lot of people were worried that it would somehow alter the Britishness of the British people, which of course is clearly nonsense. I mean, people on the continent who have land boundaries are no less French than they always were, or no less German than they always were. It is the greatest project of the century in Europe, if not the world. It's a wonderful piece of missing infrastructure in Europe that will help to join together the future European community.
The White Cliffs of Dover. Now, these cliffs played a very important part in England's history. Well, England used to end there, but not anymore. Not since the Channel Tunnel has opened. You come with me. Now, if If you are interested in our island history, this is the very best place to come. The White Cliffs Experience in Dover. I love learning about history. I mean, look at these primitive cavemen, savages, defending themselves against wild animals, covered in blue paint and dressed in, well, I don't know. Looking out to sea, ready to fight the invader. More savages, I expect.
Oi! Ah! I am not a caveman. I am Colin the Celt, a very ferocious barbarian.
Oh. How do you do? I'm Meter Man.
Of course, apart from being a barbarian, I also tell people all about British history. Now, today, we're doing all about the invasions. Do you want to come?
Well, will it take long? I have a meter to read, you know.
Oh, I should think about 2,000 years.
I'm off.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm not getting mixed up with this little lot.
Why not?
You Celts can fight your own battles. And anyway, I know who won. And it wasn't us.
Come on, you're going to miss the next invasion. It's the French. You know, 1066 and all that.
He's missed out the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, and the Vikings. Very well, if I must.
Right, off we go. Go away, you French.
Go on, off you go. Off you go.
Allez,
I remember. This is when King Harold was killed with an arrow in his eye. Why do we always have to lose?
Right, now here's one we did win, thanks to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth I. Spanish Armada, 1588. Right, off we go.
Spanish galleons ahoy! Oh! No, thank you. We won this time.
Right, now we're off to the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805.
Good. The French again. But this time, we won.
Right, here we go.
England expects every man to do his duty. That was Lord Admiral Horatio Nelson.
Actually, it was Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson.
I shall turn a blind eye to that comment. That's one of our little phrases. Turn a blind eye. Now, I'd better get out of here before they kill me. Oh, here we are in wartime Dover, and I'm a member of the Home Guard.
Well, if you're Britain's last line of defence, we are in a lot of trouble.
My dear Colin, perhaps you would like to go to the underground air raid shelter?
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
After all our struggles to keep the foreigner off our island, we are now encouraging him to invade. Here come the French again. Bonjour. 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 Rather, yes, no. Foreigners. Yes, marvellous. Yes, thank you.
Use your eyes. You certainly need to use your eyes when driving to Le Shuttle. You must follow the signs and stop at the toll booth. This is the machine that drilled the tunnel. It stands outside the Eurotunnel Exhibition Centre, waiting for a new owner. Would you like to make an offer? The centre is well worth a visit. Learn about the engineering work and the construction processes, and see how easy it is to use the tunnel. For years, the idea of a tunnel was just a dream. Some people thought it was a bad dream, a kind of nightmare. This cartoon from 1802 shows Napoleon of France invading Britain by sea, by air, and under the sea. There were several attempts to build a tunnel, starting in 1875. The breakthrough came in 1990, but even then, the cartoonists still thought it was a bit of a joke. Before you board Le Shuttle, you probably want to do some shopping. There's a selection of duty-free shops in the passenger terminal. Marcus the Mole is the tunnel's mascot. That's because he's good at digging. You can see him everywhere.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Passengers wishing to
Use your
travel on the
ears as well. The public address system tells you when the next train will leave.
Please have your passports ready for inspection.
Then follow the signs that take you onto the train. In your student's book, you will find more interesting material, as well as grammar exercises and vocabulary. Next week's programme is about bed and breakfast. That's somewhere to stay if you don't want to go to a hotel. Goodbye till then.